And we're back with another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour. It is me, the Cyber Warrior. This is CyberWarriorStudios. And yes, I know my TV is kind of on the fritz today. Don't worry, we'll get that fixed hopefully by next week. Now, saying that, I love you all. It's going to be an amazing episode. I'm in a lot of pain today, but we're going to make it through because you know what? The show must go on because I love you all, and that's what we do around here. Otherwise, okay, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff to this episode because unless you do, I only have so much visibility, which means the people that come on this show don't get seen unless you actually tell people to watch. So it's all on you, the viewer, to do those types of things. Finally, and the last note, before we get started with the show, all donations, all super chats, all funding, everything in the description below on YouTube, all goes towards youth football right now. I'm going to continue to donate at least until the end of the year because I think those kids really need a good start and they need the equipment, the gear, the jerseys, everything else like that. So if you want to donate, please feel free to do so. Now, saying that, give me about 10 seconds and we'll be right back. And hey, I'm back. I'm back. You're here. Hey, we got space tacos. What's going on? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh, I am fantastic. Other than, oh, wait, hold up. We got little Oktoberfest.
Oh, honey.
Roll, salute, cheers. You know, all those fun little things. So how you doing this evening? Besides good, like, what's been going on? It's been a little while since you've been on the show, so I got to ask, how's it been going?
Well, since we spoke last on the show, I got a job in cybersecurity.
Yes. See, that's what it's all about. That's what we do around here.
Yeah.
It's all about getting that voice, that vision out there, and then just applying it in the real world.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the real world, technically, but you get the point.
It is.
So, on that note, because, you know, this episode is shit shows and horror stories. Because you know what? It's October. We're going to go with Halloween theme. So I want to know, give me some shit show job searching. Or horror stories.
Job searching?
Yeah.
Probably, let's see. I'm going to have to think. I was thinking about like shit shows at work and bosses. I got to think.
Oh, we're going to get there. But being that you just got a job recently since the last time you were on.
Yeah.
I got to know some of the horror stories behind trying to find a job. Because everybody else needs to know. Because let's be honest. Every other show out there, it's all good things. It's or it's all professional, and they gotta say the best, and you know all this other. I want the truth. I want the real, hard hitting. What kind of bullshit did you go through?
Well, how upset are you going to be if I say not very much at all?
Not upset. I mean, we'll just move on to the next, horror story. But I do want some if you have any.
Well, for this round, in the past, it has been a complete shit show. And for this round, however, it didn't last too long because at the end of I started sending out applications on a Monday after I finished a GRC course.
Yeah.
That Friday, I got an invite for the following Friday to interview.
That is awesome.
I know. So there wasn't a lot of time for all the fuckery. I mean, that's really what it is.
But if you look at it, that's awesome because how many jobs will be like, oh, you need to wait a week or 2 weeks and then, oh, we're going to interview you again and then again and then again and then again. And by the time you hear anything, you're like, you know what? I quit.
I'm actually now still getting responses from the tsunami of applications I sent. I'm still getting a trickle of, thanks so much for thinking of us, but we moved on with another candidate. I'm like, it's all right. I'm good. I got to go work on my audit now. Bye. I got shit to do.
Deuces. I got work to do.
So, yeah, it's not a big deal. But yeah.
That is awesome. I love to hear it because honestly, I think I missed that little update that you finally got your cyber employment. So
I
I am extremely happy to hear that you did. And before we move on, Griffin, thank you for joining us. Andrea, as always, welcome. Carrie, thank you for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's all spread the word about Security Happy Hour, because I did not make the DMAs this year. I wasn't even a nomination, like finalist type of deal. So you know what? The only way to do better is to do more. And I'm going to keep doing more, and I'm going to keep doing bigger and better. So let's keep at it. Now, saying that, though, horror stories of bosses. We see them everywhere. They exist. There's no avoiding it throughout your entire career. So,
no.
give us at least one absolutely, you don't have to name names, companies, or anything like that. Give us some bullshit you've gone through.
Well, my least... Sorry, apparently the pirate is not happy. My favorite one is when I was a teacher about 1,000 years ago. And
damn, you're that old. Yeah, I knew there were aliens among us.
I am. I'm actually 1,500, but I moisturize and I try to drink a lot of water.
You get out in the sun. I get out in the sun.
So one of my first teaching jobs, I was at middle school in Fort Worth, Texas, and that is all I will say. But this bitch had it out for me. I don't know what it was, but I was getting written up infraction after infraction for rules I didn't know I was breaking. It wasn't. You were
smarter than her.
It wasn't like a, hey, you can't do that. It was just like, oh, that's going in your permanent file. Oh, here's another one. So one of my favorite was her sub-minion, the assistant principal, was a little bald guy, but he had an attitude about it. I was a volleyball coach.
Nice.
And had a lot of fun, enjoyed it. It was a blast, right? Well, part of being a good volleyball coach is the rules, and you go to conferences and you learn the new rules for the year. Sometimes they change. Old rules get deleted, new rules get added, rules get changed.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of a game, 8th grade girls team. We're playing, and the ref blows a whistle and calls an infraction on my team. So I was like, well, what was the problem? And he said, she did this. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're not calling that anymore. And he was like, huh? So then volleyball, I don't know if everybody knows, but there's 2 referees on the court, top ref on the far side and the down ref on the close side where the teams line up. I tell the down ref, I was like, dude, this rule changed as of this year. If you check your rule book, you'll see it. But I just wanted to let you know. No big deal. And I wasn't, like cussing him out because that's not who I am usually. So
all the time.
I'll get my book. Yeah. He's like, I'll get my book. You go tell my partner over there because you know it and I'm unaware. I was like, okay, fine. I calmly walk across and it was just like, hey, yada, 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 yada. And he was like, huh? I was like, yeah, no, it changed this year. I was at a conference in June or whenever it was.
Yeah.
He was like, really? I was like, yeah, it's in the book. Your partner's looking it up right now. He was like, all right, well, thanks for the heads up. I was like, all right, fine. So he calls a replay. So no point. And we don't get the infraction. We don't lose the point. We ended up acing them the next, that's beside. Anyway, the assistant principal was there. And apparently he didn't like the way I walked across calmly to the up ref and explained to him the situation and the rules, and decided to write me up afterwards for bullying the referee.
Look, I see you, and bullying would be a hell of a lot worse than just walking across and talking to the guy.
Yes.
I'm sure I've seen some of these volleyball refs. All right, my niece plays volleyball. I've seen them. I'm pretty damn sure you could toss the guy around a little bit and give him a beat down. Where did bullying come into play?
I have no comment for that last statement. It was a very lovely, calm, short conversation that he took offense to for some reason that still no one understands. I got nothing. I literally got nothing. I was just like, and it was, it's a Friday. So Friday night game. And he didn't pull me aside. And he was just like, All right. And so Monday I get called to the principal's office because that's fun on a Monday morning for teachers.
Right? You
And
get called to the principal's office. Let's go.
yeah. And it's like, so Adrienne, we just want to let you know, give you a heads up that we're putting this on your permanent. I was like, putting what again? Sorry, what was that? Putting this on your permanent file because you're not allowed to go across and bully referees like you did. And so to get the point dismissed, I was like, yeah, I don't know what game you were at, but that wasn't me. I can pull parents who can testify on my behalf. And actually they had to testify on a different, they had a blast with me that year. That 3 is a principal and 2 vice. They had a blast. I was like, fool, I'm standing and breathing. What are you writing me up for now? Really? So the other one was another volleyball, maybe basketball. I can't remember, but I was still coaching. We were at somebody else's school, and the girls got so excited that they won. And I had asthma. And super cold water, I can't do. It will constrict, and I can no longer breathe.
Right.
So they got super excited, and they wanted to do the Gatorade football field, dump it on the coach thing. And I'm like, 1, we're indoors. The floor is wood. Bad idea. True. And 2, I ran. And 3, there were 15 of them. And 4, they don't listen to me, or they didn't for that moment. So they tackle me. I'm having an asthma attack in the corner, and they're just cheering and having a blast. They're not paying attention to me. So all that happens. Somehow I get written up on Monday morning for my girls being out of control.
I'm so confused.
I tell you, man, I was just like, and I actually had parents come in and talk to the principal. And then I had this is the same crew of principals. I had another sporting event where I don't remember what happened, but the principal decided to come and didn't like something I really can't remember. Pulled me, a gym, big gym, door to some random hallway that leads to everywhere else, right? And if you close the doors,
door to your murder.
Basically. She pulls me out, and it's not a packed gym, so it's not that loud. Yeah. She pulls me out into the hall. The doors are not closed, so everyone can hear everything. And she's not just screaming, she is shrieking like a banshee. And just ripping me up one side and down the other. And I'm just standing there like, I would love to snap your neck, but I would like to set a better example for my children up there because they're watching. So, that was an awful, awful, awful year. And I loved that school and had to leave because they didn't leave until after I was there. And they were really working hard to get me fired.
And see, what sucks about that is when you look at it, right? And here's the reality of things. I've been through many places that I've worked.
Yeah.
Between the military, NCOs, officers, first sergeants. Before I went in the military, I had retail jobs, a bunch of other tech jobs, things like that. And then even after I retired, I'm on my 4th or 5th job. Granted, it was third time working for the same guy because I love him and he's awesome.
Yes.
I work for people. I don't work for companies.
Right.
And that is one of the things that people
fail
to realize is there's no such thing these days as brand loyalty. There is leadership loyalty.
Not anymore.
I will be loyal to a leader that if he leaves and calls me and says, "Hey, homie, I got a job," I'm there.
Facts.
As far as a brand, guess what? If he leaves and says I got a job, I guarantee you I'm gonna be making more money and doing a lot better and in a better position than I am now. Because good leaders won't do a parallel, almost like a pivot. Like you're here. I'm gonna put you in the exact same position over here for the same money. No, that ain't gonna happen. Now, some people will do that and they'll take it just to work for the same person. But the people I know, and the reason I do what I do, is because it's not a pivot. It's a promotion, more money, better job, better. I'm going to continue work for you.
More money, more problems. Yeah.
I mean, it happens. It does. It fucking happens. But I have been with some very, very bad leaders that were like, or I call them bosses or managers, not leaders, because leaders lead from the front. Bosses and managers won't take the heat for you. They'll sit there and they'll just be like, "Oh, that was him. That was that guy right there. Him.
It was George. George did it."
And I'm like, so there was two companies I worked at where that happened since I retired. Before I retired out of the Army, there were two bases that happened. And in that instance, it is why I am the leader that I am. Because now as a practice manager, as somebody who's in charge of people and has to run careers, I have to make sure my people get lifted up and that I protect them from bullshit.
Right. But you also made the decision of having an example and labeling it correctly as what not to be.
Yeah.
And decided to act on it. The problem is not everybody makes that choice.
No, what they do is they say, "Oh, this is how they did me, so I'm gonna do the same.
This is how it's done."
And
they don't get the actual lesson.
And we look at companies the same way, right? You walk into a company, and what's the company tell you? Well, it's always been done this way.
That's my favorite phrase.
I hate that phrase.
I do too.
So much. So much.
You
in GRC. Being in GRC. How badly does that phrase fucking piss you off?
I'll come at that from a medical coding standpoint first, because I medical coded. That sounds weird out loud. Anyway, I was a medical coder for 4 years before the GRC. And it's very similar because you're the doctor, you see the patient, you write it all up, you get paid, right?
Yeah.
I have to code what you write and I have to follow the rules. So if you want to try and upcharge and cheat and all the things. So I had to deal a lot with physicians, old head physicians. I've been here for 1 million years physicians who I have done it like this since the 1800s. And I'm not going to change for anyone. I don't care who you are, brand new coder who rocked her exam or whatever. I don't care about jail. Fix it and get me paid. It's like, look, bro, I'm not wearing an orange jumpsuit for you. It's not my I'm not about that life. So
look, I'm too pretty for jail. It's just not going to happen. All right.
It's like, look, I do not feel like having to get in shape to go to jail. That's where I'm at. So,
see, the way I look at it is I'm walking in and grabbing the first pocket I can. I'm just going to find a biggest dude. I'm now yours.
Yeah. I'll have to tuck that in the back for the plan for later. Yeah. Anyway, I just, that whole, we've always done it this way. That's how we do. No. That's not how you do, because the codes change every year. Mm-hmm. So you can't, that code that you've been using for the last 300 years, it no longer exists because they deleted it from existence.
What? Never. That doesn't happen. Lies.
So
lies and deceit.
It's just, oh God, it's infuriating. And for being in the government, because now technically I'm a government employee. I didn't know that until I got looped up into this federal.
How did you get sucked into the government?
Dude, they were hiring.
They were hiring.
And I needed a paycheck. So
I hear you. I've done the same shit. I ain't gonna lie.
But I tell you what, the benefits are great. My drugs cost $0. Anyway, I love it.
Yeah.
It's just they move so much slower.
Yeah.
Which it's good for when you want to learn something and get really good at it, because there's a long time before they're going to change their ways. And it's like, well, we've done it like this for the last 3 million years. In the last 2,500 years, they've changed the process. So we're thinking about investing in augmentation. We're going to fix it. We're going to change a few things around. And by a few, they mean one. To improve that one process. So it's kind of good as far as getting in and learning and having that repetitive feeling so that you can get really good. But when it comes to you've baselined, right? You've learned all the things and you're ready to skyrocket and do all the excellent things and the better things.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a problem because you're ready to advance, but they might not be ready to. They're like, yeah, no, but we're good over here back in the,
it works.
8th
It
century.
works.
If it ain't broke,
don't fix it, right?
and like this is my very first audit. I just started and I'm learning the process as I go. I was hired as a baby auditor. That's what the job description said. Literally, I'm kidding. But
that would be great. I would love to see a JD with that.
Baby auditor.
I would love to see it.
But I was hired as you're being trained on the job how to do this job, which is dope. So, I mean, I'm very, very grateful. I'm very, very thankful. But at the same time, you get into this big, huge it's a huge organization, 73,000 people, right? And they're asking us to come and audit them. They're like, we think we're good, but can you come check us before here comes Deloitte, before here comes PwC, before here comes EY and all these other big name, externals. So can you come check us first? So that's what my team does. And this first one I'm doing, it's a process and just in the background information that I've gathered to try and start this audit, I'm like, well, that's already fucked up. How, dude, I found $2.4 million spent the wrong way. I don't know if you know this or not, but that's not good.
It's
not
so
good.
Bad.
It's not
so bad.
So bad. So, I mean, it's just it's like, but they've always done it that way. And it's, you know what the hilarious part is? It's just the wrong form.
Oh, shit.
That's it. They're submitting a form to make please don't hurt yourself. They're submitting a form to make a request, and they're supposed to use that one. And they're like, let's just use this one. And $2.4 million later, here comes the brand new baby auditor's like, I have a question. But that's what happens when you come back.
You see, what happened was,
it was all right. But
I told them to use 24E, but they use 24D, which is like 10 years old. It's been updated.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give myself a red stapler next. That's what I'm going to do. Give me an office space stapler. That's going to be awesome. But yeah, that's what comes from. But we've always done it this way.
Oh, it is. It is. But if you look at it, coming from the military, right? That's a lot of what you see. And from base to base, contractor to contractor, there's only so much I can say. But I will say this is the biggest fault of the military. They spent $100,000 on training me to be a cyber network defender.
Right.
You want to know what I was relegated to?
Huh.
Working on their tactical systems, making sure Active Directory was secure.
Of course you were.
$100,000. You want to know why? Because we got civilians that do that job, that are paid, 6 figures a year on a contractor salary to sit there for a year or two. Because the concept was, well, they're more permanent. You guys can move. You're right, but your contract is only for a year or two. You got to hope that the next contractor picks that guy up. So where are you really saving your money?
I'm very, very perplexed at this point in time. I don't understand at all. Because
it's garbage.
I wholeheartedly agree.
6 months of training I went through to be a cyber network defender. Got 4 SANS certifications out of it. 4.
I mean, that part is dope, so yay, but still.
And I went through that, and when it came down to me doing my job, they were like, oh, hey, can you make sure that all the GPOs are applied correctly and we do all this? And I was like, so you want me to be a sysadmin? Gotcha, cool. And that is why Sergeant Major of the Army heard from me twice. Before I got medically retired.
Well done.
Because I was like, this is bullshit.
It is.
I was like, you paid X amount of dollars. You did all this. And you don't know what the fuck you're doing with us.
And you basically got me your color with crayons?
Basically, they treated me like a Marine. Like, hey, here's red, green, yellow, blue.
Watch it. My
Make
dad's
a good
Marine.
color.
Watch it. I was raised by a Marine, young man.
It's fine. I fuck with crane eaters. It's fun. I'm an Army guy. You know, I retired as a soldier. You know, Army stands for aren't ready to be a Marine yet, or ain't ready to be a Marine yet. You know.
Wow. All right. Nice save. I'll let you have that. Nice save.
You know, I could go through them all because I was in the Air Force also. I was in the Air National Guard. All right. So I can go with it. But I like my 5-star hotels. That's all I'm saying. They can bitch all they want. I got great accommodations and got paid when I stayed on an Army base. Just saying.
Well, that's cool. That's really cool. My dad got medically discharged too. So.
But I look at it and I look at what blows my mind. And this goes for every job, every career field, cybersecurity included.
Yeah.
You go to a place. So my first duty station in the Army was Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I was right. I was an NCO. I was an E5 because I can't, like I said, did guard first, went active duty Army. And I get there, and my guys that they're like, "Hey, you're going to be the team leader or squad leader, or whatever." These fucking people. I was like, "All right, cool, bet." And they had to carry gear and put all our SATCOM shit away. So I'm out there putting it away with them, and they're like, "What are you doing out here?" You're out here. I'm out here. That's just kind of how it goes. They're like, "Oh no, all the E5 and above are in there." I'm like, "No. You're my guys. You're out here doing this shit. I'm gonna do it with you.
I'm gonna be with you, yeah.
Like if I'm gonna ask you to do something, I should be able to do it too.
Right.
If I'm gonna ask you to set up a system, I should be able to set it up as well. If I'm gonna ask you to put shit away, I should be able to do it too. And so I'm out there with them, and to hear that this is their mindset of, oh well,
that's not how it's done.
You know, our job, not yours. No. It's still my job. The shit needs put away right. It's heavy. I'm gonna help you put it away.
Right.
I'm 6'3", 200 and some pounds, homie. I can lift more than you. I'm gonna help you lift this shit and put it away because that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And to hear that, oh well, no, the NCOs are in there, and I'm like,
yeah, that's not cool.
That's no, because there ain't nothing going on in there. No one's doing paperwork. No one's doing NCOERs. No one's doing ERBs. No one's doing anything. Why would I be in there on Facebook when I can be out here with my troops? That's where I should be. And I see that so often.
I think it's because most people don't think like that, because they do think the way the guys expected you to behave. They think like, well, you know, we're these guys and you're that guy, so nary the two shall mix. You know, just why would you be out here when you're my supervisor, when you're in charge? That's not what happens. That's dude, just like, homie, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. We got this. And you're like, no, homie, we got this.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that.
No, and that's so, like, even to this day, like, I put myself, whenever I do, again, practice manager, I'm in charge. I should be able to do things. So, like, I put myself on every job that my guys do. And I don't micromanage them. So if I know you got shit handled, I'm going to step away.
Let you do
until they need to escalate and they need me.
Right.
I don't micromanage. I know you got this.
And bless you for that. Thank you.
But I have my accounts. I have my access just in case, one, you take PTO and I need to step in and backfill for you.
Right.
Two, they need to escalate and say, shit's not getting done. I need your, we need to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Right.
All right, cool. I'll step in.
Right.
But I don't have that problem where I work. My guys are on point. If I tell them shit needs done, I step away and I'm like, all right, I'll handle meetings or whatever needs to be done. But otherwise, have at it. Do your job. I know you got it. But I've been to places. You've been to places. You just told us about, you know, being a coach and a teacher and everything else, where even a medical coder, where people don't have that respect for you to say, you know your job, you know what you're doing. I worked at a place. Again, we're going to talk horror stories and shit shows. Here's one for you.
I just thought of a good one.
I worked at a place, and I was a hardware support, desktop support, whatever. I was basically the help desk.
Help desk guy. Sweet.
And they told me, they said, hey, we're going to be distributing new computers to a bunch of users. We need to re-image them, put our operating system, gold disk type shit.
Right.
Put them on the domain. I said, cool. When are they getting issued? They said, in like 2 or 3 months. I said, okay, I'll do it a week before they get issued. My boss looked at me and said, no, we're going to do it now. I said, all right, I'll do that on one condition. They don't get removed from the domain within 30 days. He said, no, it's in 30 days to get removed from the domain. I said, then why the fuck am I going to do this?
Exactly.
And he was like, well, because it needs done. I said, it does need done before they get issued, not
right now,
30 plus days before.
No.
And he was like, oh, no, it needs done. I said, you know what? You're the boss. Got you.
It doesn't.
I had 300. Wow. I want to say it was like 300 plus machines re-imaged and up to our standard within a week. Which
is the week you said you needed later.
Give me a week before they need to be issued. I'd have done it.
Okay,
so which means by the time they got issued, they all need to re-added to the domain.
Shocking! You don't say.
You think? And so I ended up like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here, and so I'm gonna give it a little insight on when you're dealing with piece of shit bosses.
Let's hear.
And you're in the office, not at home working like you should be. So in the office, what I did was I set up VNC on my computer, put a password on it, did all the security behind it. Created a DNS setting, and then from my work computer tied back in and was reading books through PDF on my work computer.
Hang on.
We got somebody. Hi.
Okay.
Do we got the tiny one?
I
saw that here. Ow.
She's not supposed to come bother me because I got the cooties. Sorry. Anyway.
Cooties. I'm sorry.
I got the cooties.
Yeah, cooties. I mess with my kids about that all the time.
I need a cootie shot. I haven't had one in like forever.
Dude, I think we all need cootie shots. It's been a while.
Oh, it has.
But yeah, I set up VNC. Sat there, read PDFs because I downloaded ebooks on my computer at home.
Right.
Set up VNC and just read books the whole day because I was like, y'all made me do this. It took me less than a week. I'm going to sit here and read books.
I don't blame you. I would have been sitting there watching movies.
Honestly, at the time, you're going back. Yeah, I joined the Army in 2010. This was before that.
How do you read movies?
08, 07, like before Netflix even came out with streaming, or they did put it on a limited basis. Streaming didn't exist when I worked this job. It was a moot point.
I have fuzzy post-COVID brain, man. I don't remember this stuff. So
it's all good, but you think we're both older than Google, so it happens.
Well, I'm older than almost everything. If you're 1500, you're older than like everything. A lot of things. Most of the things.
But I don't think. Look, neither one of us have been around since dinosaurs roamed the earth. Neither one of us. I know some people that have, but not either of us.
So I have a horrible boss story.
Go for it. I want to hear it.
Well, this is while I was in Germany, working at a school there that I would love to go back to, but not to teach ever again, but just the country. But that's another story.
Germany's a great country.
It is a great country. It has glorious beer. So all of you beer drinkers, when you get the chance, go to Germany, go to Belgium, go to Amsterdam. All great beer. Woo, Jesus. Anyway, I got pulled into I was a PE teacher, health for the first year, but only PE for the second year. Pulled into the department head's office. He's Adrienne. What's up? I just went and closed the door. Oh shit! Here we go.
What's one of those? Okay.
One of those. my boss. I don't mind this guy. His name is Peter. He was dope. Love this man. He was amazing. My first great boss. Right. Everybody up until him was just trash. Everyone after him seems to have been pretty dope, except for that one. Anyway, so he pulls me in, close the door. He's like, so Adrienne, I have some really disturbing news. I was like, what's going on? And he says with broken German grammar, because they speak a little backwards in what we're used to.
Yeah.
But the bottom line was, he's like, I think our principal, who sadly has since passed, like years ago, but still he's passed away since this all happened. I think he's not happy with you. I was like, well, I can't think of anything I've done recently. What'd I do? He's like, this is ridiculous. I was like, okay, so what's ridiculous? He said to me, Adrienne, that he doesn't like, this is good, how you walk into campus with 2 Starbucks in your hands.
I don't like that you're a basic bitch that comes in with 2 coffees from Starbucks. So we're going to have a problem.
Walk in 6 shots at a time, baby. But it's just like, he's like, Peter was like, it doesn't make any sense. I think he's just looking for, I'm like, if you're going to look for a reason, find something wrong with my teaching performance, my coaching performance.
Yeah.
Find something slightly legitimate adjacent. How about that?
Legitimate adjacent. I like that.
Let's
term.
not go after.
Like
let's not go after my choice of morning beverage. It doesn't have vodka in it. It could.
It will if he keeps it up.
In a country that drinks beer for breakfast, it could.
Yep.
But no, he's not happy with the 6 shots that I bring because I drink them really fast. That's not the point. The point is,
Quit making me laugh.
It
hurts.
I'm sorry.
It
But
hurts.
yeah,
It's worth it, but it hurts.
I was just like, coffee. Almost everyone loves coffee. Clearly, you're not on that list.
No, they need whiskey or vodka or beer. That's what they need.
Maybe wine. Maybe a tranquilizer. Anyway, so
maybe ketamine. Hold up, time out.
That was one of my favorite issues at work. It's like, really? Sweet. Okay, so yeah, that was garbage, trash.
Dude, I had one. So
dumpster fire.
I worked for an organization, and they're like, hey, we need a what was it? Basically a can't think of the term right now, but basically they needed a plan to remediate vulnerabilities and all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, bet, got you. Patch your shit. Now that's not what I said, but that's the point I got across when I wrote the entire thing out was we're going to force you to patch your shit. That's the only option. They didn't like the fact that I said that you need to do this meow. Like 6 months ago, meow. Actually, 10 years ago, meow.
Wow.
Meow, like Super Troopers, that's when it needed it done. And so I looked at it and he was like, I need a valid plan. And I was like, tell me what's wrong with this one. And he was like, well, and he never responded. And I was like, cool.
I can work on that. That silence you just gave me.
I got it. I'll fix it. I promise. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but cool. And so that was, we're not going to say when I had that job, but we're just going to say it took less than 3 months for me to be on the phone looking for another job.
Right.
And within 6 months, I had another one. And so that was the stepping stone. And I hold nothing against them as people.
Mm-hmm.
As people, they were great. As leadership, as coworkers, meh. Could have been different.
Maybe.
People, amazing people. I'm talking veterans, very intelligent, knew their shit, knew whatever. But as leaders and just coworkers, just didn't kind of fit the mold. right?
Co-workers, come on.
So
That makes me sad.
I moved on from there, but yeah, it was every email, everything was, hey, you need to fix something. Fix what?
That
Well,
seems like my first job teaching with that crew I told you about earlier.
yeah, right. You need to fix something. What do I need to fix? Well, I can't. Everything I sent to my boss for review and never got like a QA feedback of what needed fixed.
Wow.
And then I got told, well, you're technically in a managerial role.
Thanks for the heads up.
So why am I developing a policy and a procedure if I'm a manager? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't fucking go there with me. Like,
No, that's not cool.
it was just one of those things where it was like, sometimes you're a manager, sometimes, not always.
And by sometimes, they really do mean always.
Yeah, right. So on that note, actually, funny story. So I put out the same post I put on LinkedIn. I put out on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck Elon wants to call
That
it.
place over there, Elon land.
The other place. And
Yeah.
my friend Elo was like, because somebody was talking about some shit, and she's like, and I was like, we're all a family, right? And she's like, I'm the annoying sister. I was like, sometimes, not always. If you're gonna call yourself annoying, I'm not gonna deny it because I'm married. I got 3 older sisters. Like, I've been there, but at the same time, not always. Like, there's times to come out with some good shit.
Oh, poor infinite probability AI wants tacos.
Yo, AR is great. Hate the name space. Let me see. Hate the name space tacos. Makes me think of tacos. Now I have a hankering for tacos.
Because tacos
AR, go get your tacos, but make them the right way. Don't go to Taco Hell.
All no,
right? I know you, homie. You got that. You got that. You got that Hispanic blood in you. That's why you're. You know who you are. You may be hiding behind a new name now, but I know who you are. Go make your own tacos, your own burritos. You'll be all right.
Okay, I thought of another crappy boss.
Oh, you got a new one? I got another one too after you.
This one just happened too.
Oh, go.
So, medical coding, and I'm tired of it, right? I've had it. I was like, I want to break into cyber. I'm sick of this shit. And so I get hit up literally out of the blue by some dude on the LinkedIn that says, hey, I think your profile is dope. Would you like a job? And I was like, no, thanks, scammer.
Right?
He's like, no, he's a really nice guy. And you guys would be great together. And so I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I hate my job currently, but I'm good. I don't know you from whatever, so no. And so long story short is I met the boss and got talked into taking the job. And he didn't say a whole lot, but when I talked to this dude on the phone.
I'm disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed in me. But the thing is when I was on the phone with him, I was like, yo, yeah, I think this might work out. Okay, cool. So I'm in New York City.
I'm sorry.
I am too. I hate it.
Come to PA. We got places for you.
I will. As soon as I
cool. Come to PA. Stay near Pittsburgh, not Philly. You gotta go West Coast.
Other side? Okay, that's fine. Think, because he is Italian, type A personality, that's super macho, micromanager.
Oh, see, the micromanager gets me. I can't do that.
Well, I didn't know that up front, but anyway, so took the job and he's going to set me up where I can work from home a few days a week. And long story short is there was a huge brain fart on my part, which is, I completely owned it. I apologize, whatever. And this fool thought it was okay to talk to me like I was a 3-year-old toddler.
Oh, that's fun. So he talked to you like a Marine. No, they're kindergarten. Never mind.
No. No. He thought that was okay. Like he had made a difference and made his point. And I was like, huh,
Oh,
huh. All right.
well, hold up. I got a wall right here. Time out.
So, well, but I think he thought he had given me a good talking to, and I'm going to come around and make the right decision. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
Deuces.
Well, and see what happened. See what had happened is I was like, I ain't gonna deal with this. Sorry, don't hurt your back. Stop. I'm sorry. So I was like, I am not gonna sit around and let you. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Nah.
So Monday morning. So and he's just like, so hey Adrienne, can you take care of the? And I was like, yeah, hi, I resign.
You know what? I'm out. See you later.
I was like, I'm done. I'm not, no. And he was just like, what? I was like, yeah, so when do you want me to drop off your computer? So I drop it off. I was just like, no, but he threw a fit. I actually got a text from him 3 weeks ago, maybe 4. 8:00 at night, because he's a psycho that works late into the night because he can't.
I know people like that. Yeah.
Hey, I know people like that because I are people like that.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, but random because I took his name off. I deleted him out of my phone, but I just get this. Hey, thanks for breaking my brand new computer. I was like, for starters, I did nothing to it. I logged in. I logged into all the applications like I was supposed to with permission and my passwords and all the things. The only thing is, you guys asked for my password to the machine to log into the machine after I'd already thrown it in the trash. And being a brand new password that I had not memorized yet, I could not share that information with you. My bad.
I'm sorry.
And I'm thinking, I know people who know computers, and I know one particular person, my twin, who is a hardware head. That's all he does.
Yeah.
And he talks to me like you were talking earlier about re-imaging and all the things. And I was like, okay, well, see, just a little I know, that's some straight up bullshit, because I know you can get into this damn computer.
Unless it's a Mac. Mac is the only problematic one. It was Windows. I'll re-image that bitch in a heartbeat and be like,
it was a Dell. It was a Dell.
See?
So I was just like, 1, you're fine. 2, and I decided just crickets. I did not answer. I immediately deleted and blocked. But I was like, why are you going to be a toddler after I walk away from your company? It's a little tiny, small specialty company, and I think he can do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
But why are you going to be a little baby tyrant throwing a fit over the fact that someone doesn't want to work with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? So that was a pretty crappy setup. Your turn, go.
I have one. All right. So I got Jack here with $10 on Super Chat. He's going to go the opposite route of best employer, and I'm going to get there. But first, one of my worst outside of the Army, outside of the military completely, I was working for a subcontractor doing hardware support. And we're not going to say where, we're not going to say who, we're just going to say I was doing hardware support.
Okay.
Company I work for and the actual company as a whole put these big metal cages on their computers to protect people from taking the hard drives out and all this other shit.
Okay.
Which, if they were designed correctly, made sense. But they weren't designed correctly because there were these tiny, like minuscule fins on the front that were supposed to allow for air intake that didn't. So we're talking a place that used CAD and all this other shit. So stuff would get overheated and shut down. You wait a half hour, it boots back up, no problem. Let it cool down, it'll go.
But half an hour.
So my boss, who was, and this is one of the reasons I have issues with Marines, because he was a former Marine, ex-Marine, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
Yeah.
And he had his MCSE. So he thought he was tough shit. He thought he knew his shit. And so I always informed him anytime anything went on, just because that's the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, so-and-so, their computer died because it overheated. I'm going to let it cool down. They'll turn it back on. Be good to go. He goes, replace it with a power supply. Brand new. And I was like, no, I'm not going to replace an overheated computer with a brand new power supply that we know is good for when a computer actually fucking dies, like we know is going to happen.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, replace it. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. He goes, he goes, replace it. I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done dealing with you. I'll fucking replace it, whatever. But when this shit dies in another hour, you're the one fucking replacing it.
It's not on me. Exactly.
I'm not going to fucking do it. I'm not going to waste our money because you want to be an asshole. And so, yeah, I ended up doing that. But this dude literally, because he had his MCSE, which is server administration, right? It's enterprise admin. It was back in the days of Windows 2000, all that other shit.
Yeah.
Thought he knew his shit. And I was like, you realize how long I've been building computers, fixing computers, no computers. And the only reason I don't have a full-time job is because I'm in college. Get fucking bent, homie.
Building computers around your ass with my hands tied behind my back.
Dude, the worst part about it is, so for anybody, Alana, thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for being here.
Alana, GRC, yay!
I love Alana. Alana's great. She tunes in every chance she gets.
I do.
So does Griffin and Andrea and AR and Jack. Like we have our crew. We have our fucking crew that are loyal to us.
Yes.
Fuck everybody else. Look, I like loyalty. Look, my thing is loyalty.
Too.
It always will be.
I do too. Anyway.
But I look at it as like Carrie's here as well. But my biggest thing was I'm not going to waste money. I understand business.
Yep.
Right. The company that I was subcontracted, so it was like a subcontractor of a it was weird. The primary company.
Right. Man down.
My elbow hit a bottle.
Hope it wasn't full.
No, it wasn't. It was empty.
Sweet.
All good. The primary company required a clearance. We'll just say that.
Okay.
And they told me when they were hiring for a full-time job that they required a 3.6 GPA for graduating with your bachelor's. And I looked at them dead in the face and I said, I can fix all your shit in 0.5 seconds flat. Why does GPA matter?
Why does
and they're
GPA
like, well,
matter?
it's a requirement, but if you get a CCIE, I'll pay you 6 figures a year. I said, no.
But
we're not going to say who that was for, because not all of that is on my LinkedIn or any resume. I've basically eliminated them because it was before I went in the Army. But needless to say, there is a certain government organization out there that requires a 3.6 GPA from your bachelor's degree. Yes, they exist. Yes, them pieces of shit are out there.
But C's get degrees. And isn't the degree the point of the whole college adventure?
You know, going, socializing, figuring it out, this, that, and the third, like knowing your life and being able to get a degree. You would think that would be important because getting a degree is difficult based on the fact that you have socialization and all these other factors at play. So if you can actually graduate, you would think that would be important. But no, you got to get a 3.6, which means have no social life. Go and study and meet nobody, have no friends, and have no life. That's how you work at it.
I'm a C who got 2 degrees.
Would you like to know what my GPA was when I graduated?
Would you like to know my GPA when I graduated?
2.67. Do you have me beat?
2. Is our GPA the same?
It might be. I literally graduated.
2.67.
I graduated with 2.67.
I think I did too.
And the only reason I know that is because I went through PTI before they became a university of sorts. They were a technical institute. I don't know what they're called now. But I went through there and I got my CCNA, all my Microsoft certs except for Enterprise Admin. Because it's back in the days of Vista and server. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I think 08. And I went to my college and I was like, hey, I want to apply for graduation because I didn't think I had enough because they required CCNA and or several electives out of all these.
And a 3.6 GPA.
So when I applied, when I finally got my CCNA, they were like, oh, we have it here. You graduated May of 09. Mind you, I'd been looking for a job for a solid year, didn't know I had a degree. I was like, homies,
how do you do that?
what do you mean I graduated May of 09? They're like, oh, well, we took all your Air Force credits, applied them to this, and you graduated. I was like, and I ain't got a diploma. They're like, oh, we can mail it to you. I said, why didn't you mail it to me a fucking year ago?
That, my friend, is an excellent question.
And they were like, oh, we'll mail it to you. I was like, all right, cool. They're like, do you want us to put network engineer? No. Just mail me. Whatever you have in your hands right now, mail that bitch to me.
Right now.
We'll be good.
Wow.
And then I went active duty Army because for a year I looked for a job not knowing I had a degree.
Son of a bitch.
So you want to talk pieces of shit? Of all the horror stories, knowing I had a degree for a year without knowing it,
that wins,
is horrendous, especially when I already had a kid. I was already with somebody. We were en route, you know, she was already pregnant with our other kid. And I was trying to stay here where I was.
That wins.
And I couldn't because I couldn't find a job because at the time you're looking at 08, 09. He was born in 2010. So I got my degree in 09. So 09 to 2010, when degrees were heavy,
09?
degrees didn't matter, I couldn't find a job because I didn't know I had a degree.
That makes me sad and angry all at once.
That's what made me go to the Army.
In Germany still. Uh-oh.
Dude, that is literally why I went active duty. Because I couldn't find a job because I didn't know how to degree.
That is insane and silly. Yeah, I got no more horror stories, I don't think. I'm trying to think. The other it's not like a boss. It was just where I worked, the shenanigans that were happening on site.
Shenanigans are fun to an extent. Depends on what they are.
Not these.
No?
No.
Not good? Not fun shenanigans?
So I worked at a baby jail, youth detention center. I called it baby jail. And they were hiring for what they called a coach counselor, right? So this was the boys.
So The Rock coaching football.
Huh?
So The Rock coaching football.
Yes, literally.
For a juvenile detention center.
That was it, except I wasn't the coach, I was the statistician.
Oh, that's so lame.
Sorry, I'm not a coach for that sport in particular. Anyway. I will say that I will not say that. Anyway, we were no, I won't say that either. Anyway, it's a, full-time on-site facility. And so the people who work there have to part-time live there.
Yeah.
So we shift change on Wednesdays. So you work Wednesday morning, lunchtime, you have your all-staff meeting and another set of staff takes over. You guys change all the important information. This guy had a fit. This guy got, pinned down and had to go to isolation, all the things. And then staff swap and then you take off for the rest of the week and you come back on Sunday or you come back on Wednesday or whatever.
Right.
Well, you could do the part-time live on site 2 different ways. You could sleep. There were 7 buildings, and the boys bunked in the perimeter of the building. There were like baby barracks. And there's a section over here on the side for the staff to sleep too, right? Or you could figure out somewhere else on site to sleep, like in your car.
I mean, that's not depending on your car, that could be a horrible place to sleep.
It depends on also, you have to remember, I'll say the state. What the hell? Sorry.
Tiny Pirate is loud.
Tiny Pirate is very loud. So, but I was in Colorado State.
Ooh.
And I got hired over the summer and worked through December. So, sorry, I'm very distracted. Anyway.
That's crazy.
The horrible shenanigans I found out about a month and a half-ish into this job was some of the staff on site, on campus. it's all boys facility. And some of them were enjoying some of the boys a little too much. So that wasn't like a leadership thing because they were like, it was the overnight staff.
But on that note, we see that everywhere.
I know, but it still wasn't great.
No, it's not something you ever want to see. It's not something you ever want to experience or hear about or deal with.
This is like kids. We're talking 12 to 17.
Yeah. And so at that, for me and you, that is not something I will go into further details of.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me and you are going to have a conversation because that is something that, for multiple reasons, bugs me.
Oh,
beyond the age, it goes way beyond age. It is more.
For me, the age just makes it worser. That much worser.
Exactly.
Which is a beautiful.
The age is worse, but there's other concepts behind that.
Absolutely.
That bug the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But otherwise, look, we're at the top of the hour. I absolutely love you as a guest. I love the fact that you're in the Discord. I love the fact that we have so much to share, and I think between the two of us, I could go on for hours. I legitimately could. Everybody knows I could talk for hours on end.
Dude, I'll sit and bullshit with you for a couple hours.
Right? Like, that's just how we do. But even though we're on shit shows and shenanigans, and you can hang out afterwards, because then I can, whatever. But we'll talk after the show. But before we get to that, I want to know if you had any horrid experiences that could give advice for those that are seeking jobs, those that are trying to break in. What advice would you give them that would trigger those red flags of what not to look for? You know what I mean? Like that don't go for this because it's wrong for you.
The red flags?
Yes.
Really? You're going to make me answer that question?
Just a few. Look, give me one or two. Give me
one or two. There's a lot of the questions out on the interwebs about, because I like to Google good interview questions to ask. Because, you hear from people and I like to look for all kinds of options. And there's a whole treasure trove of them out somewhere in the ethos of, how can I determine if the working environment is trash? So when you grab a hold of a few of those questions, if you can gauge their answers, and if they give you a couple, if they give you similar answers to something that would make you run like your hair's on fire, I would pay attention. I think my point in that whole part is, listen to your instincts, because raise your hand if you're anything like me and something's not right. I don't know. I
know.
And for reasons maybe beyond your understanding, maybe you know why, maybe you don't know why, it doesn't matter. But at the moment, you either don't understand or you make a choice and you ignore. Now, it could be because you're not used to listening to yourself. It may be because you're just like, I need the paycheck. And that's understandable. And you just have to know you're getting yourself into a bad situation and suck it up for however long before you can make a transition. But what I would say is probably my number one piece of advice would be, listen to your instincts. Listen to your gut. And if you do that more often, you won't be in that position of, I don't understand, I don't know, because you're so used to following your gut. And it's like, oh no, see, I've already made that mistake. Thanks. I already got the t-shirt. No thanks. But exactly. But the thing is once you get to that point, it's like you're guiding yourself. You don't really need to look a lot outside. But if you're new at it, that's going to be a little bit trickier, because it's like, am I talking myself out of this? Is this a good opportunity? Is it going to work? And your gut's just like, bitch, walk away. You just is no good. We got better shit over there. Just leave. And if you get caught up in fill in the blank, I don't know what it is. You get caught up in the cash, you get caught up in the benefits, you get caught up in the prestige,
Whatever.
or whatever it is, and you decide, yeah, I'm gonna take a job anyway. It's like then you don't necessarily get to bitch about it later when it sucks and you hate it and you want to slit your own throat. So I would just say listen to your gut, follow your instincts. I would also say get used to following your own instincts and don't let anyone talk you in or out of something that your gut is telling you is not a good idea for you. I would also say the flip. If it is a beautiful, glorious, and your gut is like, yes, the promised land. Yes, do it, go. I would say on the flip side, listen and go and do what you're told. Do as your gut tells you. I would say listen to your instincts.
Yeah, definitely. I can't disagree with that because so many people they deny their instincts, they deny what they are told. Well, we know you have. Come on.
Several times. I will say this: I did have a blast teaching in Fort Worth, Texas, but the original instinct was don't go there, and it was
But I
pretty.
think,
After a while,
but
it was good.
here's the kicker, right? So when you look at it, depending on the situation, depending on the position,
Mm,
you can make a difference, and that's what matters. And I think people neglect that. I do. So even though you may personally, based on leadership or whatever, be in a shitty situation, and when it comes to teaching, coaching, whatever, it happens, right? You may be a positive influence on those kids on whatever happens,
right.
but the reality of it is the management, the bosses aren't necessarily
Yeah.
helping your mental health.
No.
So
No.
where you're at, I think you made the right choice. I think you did good by those kids. I think you did good by what you did, but it wasn't good for you,
Thank you. I had a blast. And I
right?
will defend my choice by saying I was in that early, I don't know how to listen to my gut yet stage.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the things we have to
So
learn.
that was a life lesson for me. It was good.
But me and you have talked, and that's one of those things that I think we've discussed. Where even in the past episode, where it's you got to get away from this. I want the money. I
Yeah.
want this career field. Da 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 da. No, if you think a company is not going to be a fit because of X, Y, and Z reason, it could be personal, it could be professional, whatever the reason is, just it's not a fit for you.
Right.
Don't fucking take it.
No.
Don't be there. And don't try to change that company. If you go out and badmouth them, I guarantee you, especially if you badmouth a leader or a boss or whatever,
Hmm.
that person is going to get you blackballed.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to get you to where you cannot be hired.
Oh, yeah.
So it is
Absolutely.
better to move on. And I know people don't like to hear it. People don't like to understand the fact that guess what? Shit happens. Some companies are shit. Some leadership is shit. Some bosses are shit. It happens. They're racist, sexist, misogynistic, whatever you want to name it.
Pick a new ist.
Put the fucking ist on it that you want.
Yes.
It exists.
Yeah.
I get that. But they have friends. And those
Mhm.
friends are going to listen to them.
And they probably
So
have big
instead
lives.
of bad mouthing, go out there, prove your shit, show you're the shit.
Right.
Adrienne, you've done it. So many others have done it. Go out there, do what you do, and say, you know what, fuck you. I don't need to badmouth you. I don't need to talk bad. I don't need to do all this other shit. And if I'm gonna talk bad, I ain't gonna put your name in it.
No.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna get mine. I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm there for.
Right.
Get yours.
Yeah.
Quit calling companies out when you know the leadership's gonna badmouth you. when you know they're going to blackball you, when you know they're going to sit there, hit up their friends and be like, hey, yeah, that so-and-so, no, you don't want them. Because you want to know how many people come to me and be like, so what do you know about this person?
Uh-oh.
Well,
what do you want to know?
A lot, sometimes nothing, sometimes whatever, but it happens.
Oh, yeah.
People come to me. Mm-hmm. Eventually, people will come to you and be like, hey, what do you know about so-and-so?
Mm-hmm.
What have they done? What have they said? Who are they friends with? Da, 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 da.
Like as a person.
We go through this. So you want to talk about horror stories? Get your ass blackballed on Twitter, LinkedIn, or anything else. Go ahead, have fun. Because good luck getting another job. We are a small community.
Yes.
Very small. And I think people need to realize that. Now, before we go off the air, I know we're 10 minutes over the top of the hour. I don't give a fuck.
Sorry.
Fuck them all. I got Jack out here. Jack is good people. I love Jack to death. His donkey may be coming on the show eventually. But I'm going to ask you this final question. What was the best employer and why? Any job, best employer and why?
I have a tie. You're gone.
I'm here. Just grabbing something. Calm down.
Okay. I have two, though, but I'll say them fast. The best international employer I had was that guy, Jack. That's the guy I'm his name is Peter. He's in Germany. He's amazing. I love him. He was marvelous. Just, I don't know how to explain how great he is, but he was great. Phenomenal. Just, I miss him. I wish I could work for him again, but I can't because he still teaches PE and I struggle walking down the street and I can't do it anymore. So, he was honest. He's German. He's very, very logical. He's very level-headed. Nah, I take that back. He was fun. He was hilarious. He was supportive. He was dope. I love that guy. God, Jack, you made me. I'm gonna be sad.
Tell Jack to get into cybersecurity. Hit him up on WhatsApp or Signal or something.
Okay, and then my tie.
Get in so I can work for you again.
I'll see about that. My other boss, who's American based, who ties for being the best boss ever. Her name is Sylvia Los. She is a teeny tiny Puerto Riqueña. She is adorable. She is the embodiment of the word Spitfire. I love her. Love her with all of my heart. She is, I don't want to compare her to a puppy, but she's like an attack dog who will lick your face off because she loves you, but she'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
Because she's also the woman that she hired me off the street I didn't apply. I came in looking for an apartment and she hired me literally. She's like, do you need a job? Because I think I really need to hire you. And I was like, I am, but I'm a medical coder. And she's like, you need to work for me. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will.
Let's go.
let's go ahead and take care of that. So next thing I know, in about 2 weeks, I had a job with this woman. But she is a stick her neck out because she did end up taking a lot of crap for me getting hired the way I got hired. Because I totally got jacked into the matrix there. Nobody else. I will take that back. It was a great job right when I needed one. She saw, I don't know what she saw when she met me looking for an apartment, but she was just like, girl, come here. You need to be mine. So she was amazing. But beside that, unbelievable, feisty, go get them, get it done. Just love it. Just loved everything about her. And now she's a realtor. Yay. So if you need to buy a house in Arizona, hit me up because I got a good realtor for you. Awesome.
I absolutely love that though, because what it comes down to is energy and being who you are. It's I don't know why, but I need you. I need you
Yes.
on my team. I need you with me. I need you. And me and you have had our discussions about that. And
Yeah.
again, we'll talk more offline. But that's what it comes down to for
She
me.
was incredible.
As far as I go, my best employer
Yes.
has never been a company. It's been a person.
Yeah.
You ever want to research me? The person I work for now has been my best employer ever. This is my third time working for him.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I will continue working for him as much as I need to.
Yay.
It is one of those things where you just know you have the right leader in the right position to do the right thing and will go to bat for you no matter what.
Yep.
And so for me, it's never about an organization. It's about the person, just like you. And that's what it is. He has been the best I've ever had.
Yep.
In the military, I had actually the ones that helped put me out on medical retirement.
Oh.
My first sergeant, my commander were like, he could do better on the outside than he could do for us in here. Let him go. And they put me through medical board. So I cannot deny my first sergeant and my commander at that time. Absolutely amazing. Knew what I could give to the world.
Yep.
And we're like, he'll make more, he'll do more, he'll be better on the outside.
Let him
He
loose.
can't be a soldier. I bet you're not wrong. Let's go.
Let's go.
And I know so many people that fight for stuff like that. So those are my two. My two are definitely my first sergeant commander in the Army and you know, my boss that I have now this is now my third time working for him. I will continue to work for this man forever.
That's probably my favorite one because I know you talk about that guy all the time, and that's great. But like going 3 rounds, that for me is a really dope. It reminds me of Sylvia just because she's that, listen, kid, as long as I have a job, you have a job, don't worry.
Yep.
It's a lot like that. And that just, that makes me really happy.
I kid you not. So I met this guy when I was retiring out of the Army.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him had been talking for a hot minute. He didn't have a job for me. So that's how it took me 3 to 6 months from retiring out of the Army to have my first job.
Right.
And then I ended up getting a call from Bradley Morris, who only works with veteran cybersecurity people. And they're like, hey, I got this potential job for you. You need to interview, I was like, cool, bet, let's go. So like, oh, by the way, I think the director knows you. And I was like, okay,
sure.
Who is he? Whatever.
This guy.
Turns out it was the guy I had been talking to for 3 to 6 months when I was retiring out.
Nice.
So I did my first 2 interviews, and he was like, yeah, hire him. Take him on.
Done.
I got about 30, it was like about 30 grand more a year, 33 grand more a year to take that job. And then when he left the company I was working for, me and him kept in touch because he was a military vet too. And he was like, hey, I was like, look, you know I love what I'm doing. You know I love the company I'm with. You know I love the people I'm working with. You got to make it worth my while. Like, that's the only way I'm leaving. Make it worth my while. So it took 18 months. 18 months to 2 years. I forget exactly how long it was.
But it took a minute.
But it took him a little while. He found a position. He was like, hey, you want to be a pen tester and makes X amount of dollars more. It was like 35 grand and more. 35, I think. Yeah, it's $35,000 more a year. And I was like, yeah, I get to break into shit for fun and make a hell of a lot more money. Let's go for it.
Let's go. That's amazing.
So then I did that.
I do like that.
Well, then other shit happened. We're not going to get into the details. I worked for another company for about 2 years. I hit him up and I was like, yo, homie, what you got?
You got anything for me?
And he was like, yeah. Talked to one guy, and then some other guy quit, which put me even higher on the totem pole. And I was like, let's go. But I will work because here's the thing. Like I said, leaders defend their people. This guy, hands down, every time will go to war for his people.
That's awesome.
Everybody that works for him, he goes to war for. And he makes the company money. So
That's a
It's
double loss.
win-win. They get money, I get defended. Fuck it, let's go for it.
That's like no. That's amazing. That's great. Just because in the day and age of, and I know we're half past almost, but in the day and age of leaving people out to dry and hang by, sorry guys, the balls, but just leave you guys out, or leave people out and just y'all deal with it. I'm gonna go over here and drink some champagne because we just closed the deal. Sorry, we're gonna shut your division down and you're now laid off. But I'm gonna go celebrate the fact that we just
so on that note, before we go,
yeah, I love it though. I love
COVID.
That. It for you.
The company I worked for previously cut 10% of all our salaries.
Hmm.
A few other companies did that. They cut bonuses, whatever. Because the CEOs need to make fucking money, whatever.
Of course they do.
So we had been getting told, and this is what caused the problems. One of the reasons why my boss left was, "Oh, we're in the green. We're in the green. We're in the green. We're making money." So why is my salary cut 10% for to let you know past 3 to 6 months?
Make sense.
And he was like, "Pay my people or I'm out." They said, "Fuck you, you're out."
Damn.
You're in a green. Why are you not paying your people?
Exactly.
Unless it takes you to the red.
You need to pay your people what they're worth.
Give them their fucking money back.
Fair market value. That whatever company it is I read about on the LinkedIn where the CEO took a pay cut or took no pay or whatever so he could pay his people. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That and it doesn't mean I have to do
and
it.
This is
that mentality is awesome.
We were talking about my boss, my leader, who I love to death. I literally called him and was like, before the show started, and was like, "Hey, this is the shit I'm dealing with one of the other people. I want to let you know before I go off on them on Monday. Because now being in leadership and management, I'm a slap a bitch. I don't fucking care. I'm literally gonna put my foot down and go." He was like, "I got this." I was like, "All right, cool, homie. Letting you know what's going on. This is what's happening. Because if you don't say something as a senior director, I'm gonna say something as a practice manager, and you're probably gonna hear about it. So you choose how you want to go about this."
So how do you
He was like, "I got you." I was like, "All right, cool. I'm out."
Nice. Yeah.
But it's the people, and Alana says it right.
What?
The people make the culture.
Absolutely.
And that is the biggest thing for me. When you're looking at horror stories, when you're looking at shit shows, when you're looking at whatever else, it is the people, not the company.
That's
people
true.
Define it all.
The only thing I will add to that, I will tack on this one caveat. It has to come from the top.
Yes.
Because if you've got middle management who are busting their asses trying to make a dope culture for the company, and the bosses are just, no, we're gonna do it like this. I want my bonus. Fuck you. That's not gonna work. You have to get everyone online. Everyone has to be, it has to be cohesive, but it has to come from the top.
Yep.
It is absolutely the people, but it has to be, at least, even if they don't feel it, it has to be supported. Definitely. They have to support it from the top down, because otherwise, just worthless. It's wasting time.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things, and again, this is Security Happy Hour. I am a Cyber Warrior. This is Space Tacos. And I love you. You are amazing. Thank you for being in my Discord. Thank you for always supporting and loving the channel. I will say this. You work for people. You don't work for companies. Yes. Work for the person, not for the company. If they want to hire you again, go out there and work for them. Don't show brand loyalty. Show people loyalty. People are going to be loyal. Companies will not. Otherwise, I love you all. This is October. We are in Halloween month. I'm going to try to come up with more shows throughout the month. It's going to happen. I love you all. Please feel free. Super chats, tips, CashApp, all that other fun shit is in the description below. Take care. See you later. And I'll catch you next week with another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour.